Good morning students, welcome to 11th standard physics class. Students, today's topic is on gravitational potential energy. The concept of potential energy and its physical meaning were dealt in previous chapter. The gravitational force is a conservative force and hence we can define a gravitational potential energy associated with this conservative force field. Here, two masses m1 and m2 are initially separated by a distance r. Assuming m1 to be fixed in its position, work must be done on m2 to move the distance from r dash to r. So, to move the mass m2 through an infinitesimally displacement dr vector from r vector to r vector plus dr vector. So r means distance, r vector plus dr vector is moving distance. Okay. Work has to be done externally. So the work is given by dw is equal to f external work dot dr vector. So the work is done against the gravitational force. Therefore f vector external is equal to fg is equal to capital G m1 m2 by r squared. Okay. Here they consider the earth and mass system. This is gravitational potential energy near the surface of the earth. Earth is a mass system. The r distance between the mass m and the earth center. M is a mass. The gravitational potential energy U is equal to minus gm em small m by r. Here r is equal to re, that is earth radius. Re means earth radius plus h. Capital Re, radius of the earth. H is the height about the earth's surface. Here U is equal to, U means potential energy is equal to minus capital G m E small m by Re plus h. So Re earth radius, h height, G capital G gravity of earth. Then for a mass m on the earth's surface, next topic is gravitational potential. Gravitational field and gravitational force are vector quantities, whereas the gravitational potential and gravitational potential energy are scalar quantities. The motion of particles can be easily analyzed using scalar quantities than vector quantities. Consider the example of a falling apple. An apple which falls on earth due to its gravitational force. This can be explained using the concept of gravitational potential as follows. The gravitational potential, we are at a point of height h from the surface of the earth is given by V of r is equal to capital R plus h is equal to minus G m E earth mass by r plus h. Water falls from the top of a hill to the ground. Why? அதாவது மேலேருந்து டாப்லேருந்து ஃபால்ஸ் வந்து கீழே ஏன் கொட்டுது அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. திஸ் இஸ் பிகாஸ் த டாப் ஆஃப் த ஹில் இஸ் எ பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் ஹையர் கிராவிடேஷனல் பொட்டன்சியல் தேன் த சர்ஃபேஸ் ஆஃப் த எர்த். ஓகே, ஏன்னா இப்போ அந்த டாப், அந்த ஹில்லோட டாப்பில் உச்சியில் பார்த்திங்கன்னா ஈர்ப்பு கிராவிடேஷனல் ஃபோர்ஸ் பார்த்திங்கன்னா கீழே உள்ள ஆற்றை விட அதிகமாக இருக்குது. ஸோ அந்த ஃபால்ஸோ, அதாவது வாட்டர் வந்து மேலேருந்து கீழே கொட்டுது அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறோம். டாபிக் இஸ் எஸ்கேப் ஸ்பீட் அண்ட் ஆர்பிட்டல் ஸ்பீட். Hydrogen and helium are the most abundant elements in the universe, but its atmosphere consists mainly of nitrogen and oxygen. So, why hydrogen and helium are not found in the abundance of the Earth's atmosphere? When an object is thrown up with some initial speed, it will reach a certain height after which it will fall back to Earth. If the same object is thrown again with a higher speed, it reaches a greater height than the previous one and falls back to Earth. This leads to the question of what should be the speed of an object thrown vertically up such that it escapes the Earth's gravity and would Escape speed depends on two factors: acceleration due to gravity and radius of the earth. It is completely independent of the mass of the object. Okay, the escape speed is independent of the direction in which the object is thrown. Lighter molecules such as hydrogen and helium have enough speed to escape from the earth, unlike the heavier ones such as nitrogen and oxygen. So the average speed of hydrogen and helium atoms compared with the escape speed of the earth. Next, satellites, orbital speed and time period. We are living in a modern world, technological, able to communicate to any place on earth. This advancement was made possible because of our understanding of solar system. Communication mainly depends on the satellites that orbit the earth. Satellites revolve around the earth just like the planets revolve around the sun. Kepler's law are applicable to man-made satellites also. Okay. For a satellite of mass m, m means capital M, to move in a circular orbit, centripetal force must be acting on the satellite. The centripetal force is provided by the Earth's gravitational force. V is equal to square root of capital G, capital M, E by R, E plus H. As height increases, the speed of the satellite decreases. Okay, the period of the satellite. The distance covered by the satellite during one rotation in its orbit is equal to 2 pi Re plus H, and time taken for its the time period T. Then speed V is equal to distance travelled by time taken. Distance travelled means 2 pi Re plus H. Time taken means T. Okay. Equation implies that the satellite orbiting the earth has the same relation between time and distance as the Kepler's law of planetary motion. For a satellite orbiting near the surface of the earth, h is negligible, so very small length compared to the radius of the earth Re. Then T is equal to 2 pi square root of capital Re by G. Next topic, apparent weight in elevators. Everyone who used an elevator would have felt a jerk when the elevator takes off or stops. Why does it happen? Understanding the concept of weight is crucial for explaining this effect. When a man is standing in the elevator, there are two forces acting him. First one, gravitational force, which acts downward. If we take the vertical direction as positive, y direction, the gravitational force acting on the man is Fg is equal to minus mg j vector, unit vector. Second force, the normal force exerted by the floor on the man, which acts vertically upward. Normal force N is equal to nj vector. Okay. Weight of an object. The weight of an object W is defined as the downward force whose magnitude W is equal to that the upward force must be applied to an object to hold it at rest. First, so W is equal to mg. First option, when the elevator is at rest, the acceleration of the man is 0. Hence, net force acting on the man is 0. Applying Newton's second law on the man, Fg plus N is equal to 0. So, minus mg plus N is equal to 0. Comparing the components, N minus mg is equal to 0. So, N is equal to mg. Hence, the apparent weight of the man is equal to his actual weight. Option 2. When the elevator is moving uniformly in the upward or downward direction, the net force acting on the man is 0. Hence, the apparent weight of the man is equal to his actual weight. Okay. Option 3. Let the elevator moves up with acceleration A is equal to A with respect to the ground. Applying Newton's second law on the man, Fg plus N is equal to ma. So, minus mgj plus nj is equal to ma. Okay. By comparing the components, N is equal to m into g plus. Apparent weight of the man is greater than his actual weight. Okay. Option 4. Let the elevator accelerates downwards with acceleration A is equal to minus A. It is negative. Applying Newton's second law on the man, Fg plus N is equal to Ma. By comparing the components, N is equal to M into G minus A. So, apparent weight of the man is lesser than his actual weight. So, the next, weightlessness. When the lift wire is cut, the lift falls with downward. Acceleration A is equal to G. So, capital N is equal to M into G minus G is equal to 0. Now, the person inside the elevator is in the state of weightlessness or free fall. The next topic is heliocentric system over geocentric system. This figure shows the retrograde motion of the planet Mars. Careful observation for a period of a year clearly shows that Mars initially moves eastwards, February to June. Then reverses its path and moves backwards, July, August, September. It changes its direction of motion once again and continues its forward motion, October onwards. In olden days, astronomers recorded the retrograde motion of all visible planets and tried to explain the motion. According to Aristotle, the other planets and the sun move around the earth in the circular orbits. If it was really yes, how the planet could reverse its motion for a brief interval. To explain this retrograde concept of epicycle in his geocentric model. This figure shows that the earth orbits around the sun faster than Mars because of the relative motion between Mars and Earth. Mars appears to move backwards from July to October. In the same way, the retrograde motion of all other planets was explained successfully by the Copernicus model. It was because of its simplicity. The heliocentric model slowly replaced the geocentric model. ஓகே அது டாலமி தியரிக்கு பதிலாக கோப்பர்னிக்கஸ் மாடல் வந்து அக்செப்ட் பண்ணப்பட்டது. காரணம் இட் இஸ் வெரி வெரி ஈஸி டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன் சொல்லலாம். ஈஸி டு எக்ஸ்பிளைன். Here we can see how the distance of Mercury and Venus from the Sun were measured. The Venus and Mercury being inner planets with respect to Earth. The maximum angular distance they can subtend at a point on the Earth with respect to the Sun is 46 degree for Venus and 22.5 degree for Mercury. So, it is shown in this figure. This figure shows that when Venus is at maximum elongation, example 46 degree, with respect to Earth, Venus makes 90 degree to Sun. This allows us to find the distance between Venus and Sun. The distance between Earth and Sun is taken as one astronomical unit, 1 AU. But the trigonometric relation satisfied by the right angled triangle is shown in this figure. Okay. Sin theta is equal to small r by capital R, where r is equal to 1 astronomical unit. So, r is equal to capital R sin theta. Next topic, interesting astronomical facts. First one, lunar eclipse and measurement of shade of Earth. On January 31st, 2018, there was a total lunar eclipse which was observed from various places including Tamil Nadu. It is possible to measure the radius of shadow of the Earth at the point where the moon crosses. Okay, when the moon is inside the umbra shadow, it appears red in color. As soon as the moon exits from the umbra shadow, it appears in crescent shape, அதாவது பிறை நிலவு shape அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம். Second one, why are no lunar eclipse and solar eclipse every month? If the orbits of the moon and earth lie on the same plane during full moon of every month, we can observe lunar eclipse. If this so during new moon we can observe solar eclipse, but moon's orbit is tilted 5 degree with respect to Earth's orbit. Due to this 5 degree tilt, only during certain periods of the year, tilt means சாய்வான, The sun, earth and moon align in straight line, leading to either lunar eclipse or solar eclipse depending on the alignment. Next, why do we have seasons on earth? Earth revolves around the sun. So when the earth is very far away, it is winter, and when the earth is nearer, it is summer. Actually, the seasons in the earth arise due to the rotation of earth around the sun with 23.5 degree tilt. This is shown in this figure. Okay. Due to this 23.5 degree tilt, when the northern part of the earth is further to the sun, the southern part is nearer to the sun. So, when it is summer in the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere experience winter. Next one, stars' apparent motion and spinning of the earth. The earth's spinning motion can be proved by observing stars' position. Okay students, today's topic is over. Today's homework. Students, repeatedly watch the video and learn the lesson properly. I have given you homework. Read and understand the questions and answers, and then write the answers 2 or 3 times in your classwork note. After writing, send me the answer to my WhatsApp number. Thank you students. Wish you all success. God bless you.